Tom and G, I have realised that the only way that I can get away with having a bad hair day is by putting my hair up in bunches. But the great thing about it is that I never put my hair up. So when I do have my hair like this and people see me, they're like, oh, you look really nice today. And I'm like, no, 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 no. I just look different today, which is tricking you into thinking that I look better than I usually do because you've never seen me look like this before, so ahaha. Tom, I think the reason that you have never given any thought to turning 30 is because usually when people freak out about turning 30, it's because they feel like they haven't done everything they wanted to do by the time they were 30, and they start panicking because they've suddenly run out of time. Whereas you, Tom, you have had an incredible life up until this point. You have seen so much of the world through travelling with McFly and McBusted. You're married to a wonderful woman. You have a beautiful son. You had, what was it, something ridiculous like 10 #1 singles by the age of 21. And like you said in one of your last videos, you still hold the world record for the youngest band to debut at #1 in the charts. So personally, I think that's why you aren't freaking out about turning 30, because you've done everything and more. You've lived probably a more full life than many 80-year-olds on this planet have lived. So that's why you're not freaking out, and that is why you have no need to freak out, because you have lived an incredibly full life and it's only gonna get better. From a very proud little sister who is so grateful for the amazing example that you've been setting all of these years, here is to you turning 30. Ever since I moved into my flat on my own on April 2nd, I have been sent messages on Tumblr and Twitter being asked whether living alone is scary. I thought I would be more scared than I actually am. Saying that, I still come home and I check, I genuinely do this, I check all of my cupboards in my house, under the sofas and under my bed, even though there isn't very much space under my bed, just in case there's a murderer, just in case a murderer has managed to get into my flat. But the good thing is that my flat is very, very small, so just one quick once over convinces me that I am okay and I'm alone and I can sleep well. But there are a few things that I really do love about living alone, and one of them is choosing my own brands of stuff. When you live with your parents, you just use whatever they use. You use the brand of shampoo that they've picked, the brand of butter that they've picked, the brand of milk, the brand of whatever, you know, you just use what they have in the house because it's them who does the shopping. Now, I live on my own, so I can just pick whatever the hell I like. I can experiment, I can try things out. For some reason, the thing that I was really excited about picking was my own brand of butter. I don't know why. Another thing I love about living on my own is that you kind of learn your house or flat or whatever you're living in's personality. It's kind of got its own little quirks. Like, for instance, I have figured out that the cold tap doesn't give very, very cold water. So, to remedy this, I bought a big jug, filled it up with water from the tap, I chopped up bits of lemon and orange and put it in the water and then stuck it in the fridge, and now I have like really nice lemony, orange, citrusy tasting water, and it's really cold because it's been in the fridge and it's great. It's also nice having one whole flat that has my personality like expressed all over it, because before, like when you live with your parents, you have one room, you're confined to one room, and even then your parents do have some say on what you do with that room because it's their house and they don't want you like wrecking it or painting it black like I wanted to do when I was 14. But like my whole flat is purple for a start. I have my red and spotty things up there that don't match anything else apart from my cutlery. I have red and spotty cutlery, and I keep telling everyone about this, but I haven't shown anyone yet, so it's time to show you guys the ceiling of my living room. But I think I'm going to change it. I have all of these origami dragons hanging from my ceiling, and it's kind of sparse at the moment because I don't have enough origami dragons to cover the whole ceiling. But then someone showed me a picture on Twitter of all of their origami dragons stuck on the wall facing the same way the whole way around the room, so it looks like there's just lots of dragons flying the whole way around the room, and it looked really awesome. So I might change it to that, because that looks great. Whereas this doesn't. I mean, it's alright, but it doesn't look brilliant. The only problem that I have with this flat isn't anything to do with the fact that I live on my own, it's just based on where my flat is. I live on a crossroads, and there's this idiot who loves to rev his engine as loud as he possibly can and speed across the crossroads 4 or 5 times at like 1 o'clock in the morning. And it's so loud and it's so annoying, and oh my god, I want to find where he lives and kill him. I won't do that. It's just, I'm angry. I'm angry at him. I'm very, very angry at him. But then I was also woken up by a lorry, a very, very big lorry, trying to turn left at the crossroads. and it had one of those automated signals that was going, lorry turning left, lorry turning left, lorry turning left. And it felt like that lorry was turning left forever, just for eternity. I was lying in bed sort of dozing in that place between asleep and awake going, how long is this lorry? Tom, I don't know if you've ever lived alone, because I know that when you moved out of Mum and Dad's house, you moved straight in with McFly, and then I think you moved straight in with Giovanna after that. Giovanna, have you lived alone? I don't know. I don't know whether either of you guys have lived alone, so you need to tell me in your next videos whether you've lived alone and whether you enjoyed it, whether you prefer living alone to living with each other. Gee, I know that Tom's a pain in the ass to live with, so I wouldn't blame you if you said that you didn't like living with him. I know that Tom used to do this really weird thing when he sleeps, where he goes... Does he still do that? I'd be really interested to find out if he still does that. But for anyone else watching this video, if you're living alone at the moment, or you're worried about living alone in the future, or you've never lived alone, share your stories and experiences in the comments and we can all chat about what it's like to live alone and whether we like it or not. Today I look like this, and I shall see you next Wednesday.